right now on Instagram. Go to our story, outbreak_SM. There's a picture for you guys to take notes. So screenshot it, repost it after you're done, repost the video so your friends and others can watch it and take notes as well. So do that real quick. Recapping a couple of our weeks, we've been talking about submission to authority, submission to our masters, slaves, submission, wives and husbands. And Peter's addressed specifically his readers in this, to slaves, to masters, to wives, to husbands. This week we're turning a page a little bit. He's coming back to everyone. He's coming back to all the readers who are reading. So us, all the readers. We're talking about suffering for righteousness' sake, or another way, suffering for doing good, which is the title of this message, of this video, suffering for good. And it's found in 1 Peter chapter 3, 8 through 22. I think when I hear suffering for good, I don't like that. I don't know about you. I don't know. I mean, how many of you would like to suffer for doing something good? Yeah, I think sometimes athletes, though, they get this. They get the that drive, that, you know, the training, the hard work to reach that goal of being on top, being champion. Recently, 30 for 30 has put out The Last Dance, going through Michael Jordan's last year on the Bulls, the last 3-peat championship. You know, the hard work, the dedication, all that put in to get that last championship. And so you suffer through so much. You suffer through training, you suffer through maybe injury, all that, just to make it on top. And that's not really the direction we're going to go, being athletes and all that talk. But it's kind of the same way as we as Christians, we have this opportunity, we have this responsibility to spread the message, right? So we suffer. Sometimes we suffer with slander, with judgment, with all these things for the good. And what is that good? The good is heaven, right? And then if you are watching and you don't have that connection, you don't have the connection to God, then maybe you have certain fears, you have questions, you have doubts without an answer. I'd ask you just leave them below in the comments or message us, and we could hopefully answer those. Peter's talking to us here as well, and I want you to listen to what he's saying. In this part of 1 Peter, he's really driving home his point. Off the bat, he tells us to live in harmony. He tells us to be sympathetic, to be compassionate, to love each other like brothers, to be humble. He says, do not seek evil for evil, do not insult for insult, but with blessing. If someone slanders you, bless them, send them a blessing. Because we are to inherit something better. We are inheriting a blessing as well, and that's heaven. But why? Isn't that always the question? Why? You're telling me all to do this stuff, you're telling me to do this stuff, but why? Right? It's like if your parents tell you to go clean your room. Why? Go do this. Why? Go do that. Why? We're human. We want to know more information. We want to know why. And Peter quotes Psalm 34 in this to answer your why. And so Psalm 34 in verse 10 of this chapter in 1 Peter, he says, whoever desires to love life and see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. See, according to the psalmist in this, we need to live in harmony because of these 4 things. You can write them down, you can write them on that post or whatever. But the 4 things, the first one is, those who do well, those who do good, will live a life more gratifying. Right? The more good things we do, the more positive things we do, we live a happy life. Number 2, your days will be good. Right? Living in harmony with each other, living a better connection, a better relationship with each other. We will live in harmony and our days will be good. Number 3, God's eyes will never turn away from us, and they'll always be blessing us as we do good. And number 4, God's ears will be ready to hear our prayers. Right? When we're in this connection with God, when we're in this relationship with God, when we're so close to Him, when we're doing good, when we're suffering, when we're doing so good, His ear is ready to hear our prayer. And not that it isn't before, but when we're doing the work, when we're doing the mission, when we're doing our job, our responsibility as Christians, man, the blessing, the prayers, a blessing of needs and wants are fulfilled. And it is great. So bottom line of that is to live in harmony, to live a good life full of blessing. And living a good life, though, has no fear. It is frightened by nothing, right? It's kind of hard to say that in these times, right, where some of us are fearful, some of us are frightened of this crisis, of this COVID thing, of worldly things. But in verses 14 and 15, Peter says, "Do not fear, but set Christ apart and set him as Lord. Right? Always be prepared to give an answer to those who seek hope, and do it with gentleness and respect." You see, we as Christians will suffer. Maybe sometimes not physically suffering as those, but of mind and of spiritual. We will suffer the tests, the trials, the disbeliefs, the slander, the judgment, the doubt, the evidence versus belief. Peter is warning his readers of this in this time, but we today can take encouragement. And here are some encouraging things. We are encouraged today because we have this book. We have a book full of answers to all our questions. Right? To find the answers, you have to search, though. Right? Just like school, when you're taking a test or you're doing your homework, you have to look through the book to find the answers. Right? We are also encouraged knowing Christ died for all of us. Christ died for you, for me, for your neighbor, for your friend, for the person down the street, for the person across the world. He died for them. So as we suffer, as we feel this guilt of wanting to do more, we are encouraged that through the book, through our saving grace, through the grace that God gives us, we can spread that message. And right now, during this COVID-19 time, we're reaching homes in unexpected ways, right? Every Sunday, we have a worship service, and we reach hundreds of people, more people than we have ever had in the building. And I cannot wait to come back as a group in the church, in the building, as Outbreak, and see new faces, see your friends, see people who have watched us on our live stream, people who have watched these videos come and take part in this community. Take part and live in harmony, connecting each other, being in relationship with each other better for God and with God. Lastly, I want to encourage you to be on fire for Jesus and God. Right, in these times right now, they're not ideal. The devil is maybe pulling you away from doing your daily devotion, doing daily prayer, maybe even watching this video, watching our services online, maybe following those people on Instagram, following those people on TikTok or Facebook or Snapchat that maybe you really shouldn't be following. Having these thoughts of things won't be better, things won't be back to normal, we'll never meet again, I'll never see my friends again. Well, let me remind you, God is in control. God has a plan. God didn't bring this virus upon us, but through it, He's going to be glorified. He's going to be made magnificently big, and we all can already see it. See, we have a home already to go to, but we have a job, right? We're renting this place. We're renting Earth. And in it, we have this job to spread the message. And our job simply is to put Christ into the hearts for those who are searching for answers. Right? Have you ever watched a TV show or a movie where the character of that certain film or show is stranded on an island? Right? The first three things that they look for are shelter, food, and water. And when they find the water, when they find fresh water or make a contraption to make fresh water from the ocean or whatever, they gulp it up. Right? They're so thirsty. And I want you to gulp up whatever is in this book. Right? Study it. Find answers. Find ways to be on fire for God. And so when you're ready, when people come to you with doubt, with ways to find hope, you can answer those. You can show them, teach them, disciple them. All right, I hope you have a great week. Outbreak live at 7 right after this. I hope you join us, playing some cool games, some prizes. So be sure to join us for that. We'll see you.